Hello, my name is Thomas Gebauer, and for my presentation, I'm going over the webinar titled Maximizing the Effectiveness of Artificial Intelligence Coaches for Sales Agents. As we progress in technology, so do businesses. And a new implementation business I've been doing is using AI coaches in replacement of human managers. And the idea of this is to train as many sales agents as possible without having a human manager standing right behind them. So this presentation, the webinar, was brought to us by Qiming Liu, Marco Keen, Zhang Feng, and ZQ, who put together the Q&A and the experiment. Qiming Liu is the voice of the presentation, and he goes over the basis for the data and the results of the 3 experiments that he conducted. A little bit about AI. So AI is short for artificial intelligence, and that means it's the wide-range component of computer science designed to enable smart machines the capability to perform tasks that would usually require computer intelligence. So the idea of AI is to somewhat put the human brain in the computer. Differences between human feedback and computer feedback would be humans are able to pick up on the consumer's mood, their mannerisms, or how they're feeling that day. I mean, the computer can't do that. The computer just takes the hard data and then analyzes it, whereas humans are able to see during face-to-face interactions or a phone call. So the AI coach uses the deep learning algorithms as well as cognitive speech analytics to examine conversations between sales agents and customers and provide training feedback. So in this case, AI is a system. And when the sales agent is on the phone or wherever they are with a customer, AI can pick up on the customer or the sales agent's tone of voice, or it can pick up on their mannerisms. And what it does when they pick up on this is it sends a little notification on the screen and it tells the sales agent what they're doing wrong. For example, if the customer is upset with the service and comes across with a whiny voice or a little bit complaining, then that server would pop up a notification with a red heart. That red heart then tells the sales agent to start showing more empathy for the customer or to ask more questions to gain a better understanding of the customer. So the point of AI is to give real-time results while these sales agents are in contact with the customer. Another example would be if the sales agent is coming across a little flat in the sales pitch. In that case, a coffee mug would appear, and that tells the sales agent to start engaging the customer a little bit more, to show some enthusiasm in what they're trying to sell, to convince the customer that what they're selling is what they need. So there's a couple differences between AI coaches and human managers. In this webinar, they conducted 3 experiments, and they assigned 429 sales agents to a control and a treatment group to identify which levels benefited the most from the 2 groups. And what they found was that the middle ranked agents benefited the most from AI, whereas the top and bottom ranked agents benefited the most from human managers. And when they looked into this, they saw that the bottom agents were receiving too much feedback, known as feedback overload. So what they were doing, and they were seeing all these notifications pop up saying, heart, coffee mug, they had to overcorrect themselves while presenting to the customer. And when you're overcorrecting yourself, you tend to shift your focus away from the customer and you start focusing on what you need to do. So it also kind of hurt the bottom agents because they were getting too much feedback from these AI machines. On the contrary, the top agents were not getting enough. So AI wasn't able to pick up on the specifics that usually human managers would be able to do when teaching their top ranked salespeople. And that's where the assemblage comes into place. So the assemblage is almost as acts as a hybrid between using AI coaches and using human managers. And what they found from these results was that when you combine the two, the bottom and top ranked salespeople were actually way more efficient than if they were to just use only AI coaches or only human managers. They found that a gentle mix of both AI coaching and human managers led to the utmost maximized potential for these bottom and top level agents, whereas middle class just benefited the most from the AI coaches. So when you look at the benefits of AI coaching, you got to understand that there is consistency. These algorithms that are put into the computers that the sales agents use, they are looking to pick up on things. They're always looking for the tone of voice. They pick up on the volume or the quickness of the way that the customer or the sales agent is talking. So they're always going to be consistent. They're never going to leave anything out. Whereas a human manager can tend to either overlook that because humans are capable of human error. That's why AI is more consistent in catching on to these mistakes by the sales agent. There's also, due to a scarcity of resources, there's a limited amount of human managers. There's not enough human managers to do one human manager per one sales agent. That's where AI would come into place and take over for the sales agents that don't have a human manager overlooking what they're doing. And that way, it saves time because you don't have to assign one sales agent to another. At any time, you can get feedback from a conversation with a consumer just through the AI system. As well as benefits, there are also a few negative impacts of AI coaching. The biggest one we talked about earlier was information overload. And when there's too many information and corrections, people tend to overcorrect themselves, and that can honestly push consumers away when you're trying to be too precise. So the biggest suggestion for this that came out of the webinar was only providing one suggestion to these bottom level agents as well as top level agents instead of about 8 or 9, which is what they would normally get. So what they'd get was one specific suggestion, and that would be the most crucial one. And with that, they'd be able to work on one thing at a time after each customer interaction. There's also differences in needs. For a lot, every consumer is different and every consumer has different values. That's why AI doesn't particularly adjust to these needs, whereas a human manager can identify that and adapt to the course of action the sales agent would have to take. Also, cost. You'd be having to train more people using AI. Therefore, if you're using more AI software, you would be essentially spending more money. And then the AI aversion among top agents, that just pertains to making sure the sales agents get that feedback, that hybrid feedback from human managers as well as the AI. In conclusion, it's always important to understand the training needs of individual employees. So some employees need to have face-to-face interactions with their manager to know what they're doing wrong, whereas others just need a quick little tweak and that's it. So it's always important to understand the training needs of the individual employees. That's why if you are as a business thinking about implementing AI, that you ask your employees how they learn the best, because some people don't learn as well on a computer, whereas they have a real life person talking to them. And then the most beneficial way for companies would be to just implement both a training program, a hybrid training program that incorporates both the AI aspect and the human manager aspect. So you get a little bit of, so when the human manager is not there, you can get feedback, but also you have access to a real life person that's willing to see everything you're doing, listen to you, and then give you real life feedback. And for a business, it's always important for these managers to keep employees in the loop. Always keep them aware of the new trends that are going on, who their target market is, or any potential new customers. You got to give as all the most information you can to these sales agents so they know how to attack their sales pitch. Artificial intelligence is a huge part in our growth of the world. We've seen AI being implemented in NASA. We've seen it implemented in other countries. It is becoming huge, and businesses want a part of that. In the case of replacing human coaches, we need to consider what is going to maximize the training potential of these sales agents. And from this webinar, it's easy to conclude that for the top and bottom agents, it is important to create a hybrid so that the sales agents have a choice and the ability to learn from both the machine as well as human coaching to maximize their potential. And in creating a hybrid training program, that is, in my mind, the most beneficial way to train each and every employee efficiently.